But I also want to ask you about this kind of, the word sustainable, which just shows up everywhere. We think about sustainable cotton, sustainable fashion, sustainable clothing, sustainable professions. How do you use that word?
You know, it's funny. It's one of those words that you kind of, when you're starting a business, I'm sure you did that with Impactorum. Do I use this word or not? Because it's been misunderstood, I think, in a lot of ways. But formally, of course, sustainable, I think it has its roots in Latin, and it's from the word sustainere, and it means to hold and to keep, right? But of course, the etymology of that word has changed over time, and it was formally defined in the 70s during this kind of a commission called the Brundtland Commission, that we use that definition. But again, it's also been farther modernized, and it's almost to a point, Amy, that, and sadly, because it's a beautiful word, but sadly it's become meaningless, particularly in the apparel sector, because we haven't invested in sustainability to give it meaning and credibility. We've built these narratives around this concept of sustainability, but it's really been shaped in image and not in true impact to this day and age. Even though we've been at it, you're a professional in this sector, I'm a professional in this sector. And not to say that we haven't had progress, but we now are coming up with other words like circularity and regenerative to replace sustainable. And we're still making the same mistakes as those meanings. Those words will also be meaningless if we don't actually invest to give them credibility. It's like having a currency. It's like a fiat currency. And if there's nothing behind it, then what does it mean? And that's what the sector right now is grappling with, unfortunately. So I guess what it means to me is just that, it's a beautiful word. Let's take that ownership of that back and define it by impact. And what I mean by impact is meaningful and measurable data around social and environmental progress that our apparel and our choices of purchasing can drive.